Hello peeps. So I'm here to do finally my first show review since last week the shows didn't come on. So I'm here to do my first show review. I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna try to make it as entertaining as possible for you. I do have Black Ink Crew coming as well. Sorry, my nose is itching. It might be tomorrow though because it's kind of late, so I might not put that one up today. But this is the review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 5, Episode 11. I couldn't get the episode name, so I'm not sure what they named this particular episode, but it is Episode 11. And we opened this episode up where we left off the last one, where they were walking, where KK and Scrap were walking into court to hear what his sentencing is going to be, or what his sentencing was going to be, and his outcome for his future. And you know, he went up there and he asked the judge for leniency. He told the judge he was father to 2 young boys and he was a great father. He realized he made some mistakes and he couldn't make any excuses. He was here to pay for his mistakes, but he was just asking for as much leniency as the judge could give him. And the judge said, you know, I understand that and I'll be as lenient as possible. 20 years and $100,000 fine, 5 years in custody, 15 years on paper. And they took him into custody at that time. So that is it for Scrap DeLeon. He will be in jail. They took him in right then, so he's gone. KK was up there crying with her all black on, and it was a very, very sad moment. You know, but like he said, he made the mistakes, he did the crime, and he was there to pay his time and his debt to society. So that was it with that particular, as far as Scrap going to prison. You know, they had the little small blurbs of all of his women having their sad moments about him going to jail. They had Tierra taking the kids, dropping them off as she was going to work, and saying, you know, he was a good person, he just made some bad mistakes. Tommy was talking about how she got drunk and twisted, and she'll probably do that every night because he's gone and she doesn't want to deal with it. Carly said her friend is gone and she misses him and she won't be able to talk to him anymore, but she appreciated him for being her friend and giving her his heart. That's your friend and he gave you his heart, I guess. Whatever. That was it for that particular their particular story. Like I said, he's taken into custody and we move on from them. We move on from that whole little love triangle, not love square rectangle. We move on from that and KK and the little brother Sass. We move on from all of that and we go on over to Stevie. Can you say daddy's home, home for me? And I know you've been waiting for this loving all day. Stevie was walking around half naked. He had that robe open. Them boxes pulled down, showing that little V-cut. Stevie said he was trying to get a little shower rod action. He said, hey, you know, I saw you busting that thing wide open for old Frico. So I'm trying to creep on back up in there because Jocelyn ain't acting right. You know I did all the dirt to you and left you for her, but you know, hey, she ain't doing right, so I'm back to get a little action from you. She's talking about, you know, trying to figure out about these babies. She wants to know if it's true what Jocelyn said. Does he have extra children out there? And if so, she's gonna figure it out. So they're gonna go on a road trip and do a DNA test. They're gonna go visit this Promise Be May chick and see if it's true that Stevie has extra children. And we get a little background on why she's even so concerned, because really it has nothing to do with her. Like, he's your baby daddy, yeah, but he's not your man. And him having extra kids really don't concern you much. So, but we get a little piece of a background from her on why she's so concerned, as far as she never put him on child support because she knew his struggle, and she knew he had, all those, he already had a lot of kids before she had her baby with him. So she just felt like if it's true, if he does have 2 babies out there and he's paying child support for them, then he will be paying me child support too, because I looked out for him all of this time and never put him on paper, and just expected him to do what he was supposed to do and tried to give him a break. But no more Mrs. Nice Guy. Like, you played around too much, and you got these other women out here with these babies, and you breaking them off cash, so you gonna break me off some too. But they have that conversation. He's like, Jocelyn crazy, and I have no problem with going on this road trip to see this chick to prove to you that Jocelyn crazy and that this ain't my baby. So, she's like, okay, cool. She was like, but if I find out, then you getting out. So they move on with that story. They're set to go on their road trip to see if this is his baby. In the meanwhile, we move on to see Mama D going to visit Betty Idol at the studio while she is practicing her, I guess she's going to have a performance or something. She's practicing a song that she has, and Mama D walks in and says, oh, she's so pretty and she can sing. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Betty Idol's voice, because it sounded just like her talking voice to me. Like, her singing voice and her speaking voice sounded exactly alike. So y'all let me know if she can sing to y'all, because to me, it was garbage. But hey, I'm not a professional, so hey. But just for my taste of music, Betty Idol's voice was garbage. But Mama D is a meddlesome mother, and she's been that way the whole 5 seasons. Is why Scrappy can't have a working relationship. So she's gonna go in and try to fix their relationship. And she's told that girl she's cute, and if she back in her pimping days, she sure could have worked for her. But yeah, they're just talking, and she told Mama D that they were supposed to work together, but they couldn't because of the fight with Tammy and because of something Bambi said. So Mama D is like, the deer crossed the wrong street again. So like, but I'm gonna fix that for you. But then she was like, no, but he said something about transgender people online, and my best friend is transgender, so I'm just disgusted by him. So she plays the video, and Mama D is like, the palace is on fire. Like, why do you have to do all that extra stuff? It's not really necessary. But what he said in the video was, about the transgender females that don't let it be known that they are transgender. They kind of trick men until, men, it's kind of too late, and then the men find out, and then it goes bad. And he was just saying that, they should let, if you're proud to be a transgender female, that you should be, disclosing the fact that you are. And but it was just chopped and screwed up to where it only showed like he was just judging and saying that, unless you were born as a woman, that you'll always be a man with a wig and a penis. So, his mom was like, okay, I'm going to talk to him about that. Like, he's not an adult, but, moving on. So, we get back to Mimi and Stevie, and they're going on this road trip with this DNA test to see this Promise Be Made chick. And they get there, and she opens the door, and she is thicker than a snicker. And her shoes is gangsterline. Like, she is thick. And, but she looks crazy. Like, when she opens the door, she look cuckoo-cuckoo. So, you know, they sit down and they have a conversation with her, and they're like, you know, we came to talk about this baby. You know, Stevie introduces himself because he's like, I don't know you. You know, you going around telling people you got a baby with me, but I don't even know you, chick. He's like, you know, I'm Stevie. She's like, I know who you are. So, you know, Mimi's asking her questions, and she's like, you don't need to be discussing this with me. This is between me and him. She's like, our daughter is here right now. I can go get her. You want to see her? So then she drops the axe and she says, you know, it's not true. There's no baby. I was just trying to get his attention because I'm talented and I want to become famous. And, you know, how else would I become famous? She's like, Kim Kardashian has a sex tape. You have a sex tape. The shade trees that she was throwing at Mimi. You got a sex tape. So I'm trying to come out. I'm trying to be famous some kind of way. Well, how else? Like, I didn't want to do a sex tape. So, hey, I just said that I had a baby with him. But she admitted that it was not true, that there was no baby, that she made it all up just to get his attention so that she can, you know, become famous. And her and Mimi start going back and forth. Mimi tell the girl she need a trainer and that she crazy. She said the girls, you know, Stevie asked her, you know, just to never reach out to him again, and she says, okay, that's fine, and they leave. Really, at this point, this should prove to Mimi that she should stop caring. Like, this is not your concern. Like, you did explain why you were so concerned, but after this, you should really sit back and think and be like, you know what? I am putting way too much energy and effort into something that really doesn't concern my life at all. If he does have kids out there, yes, they'll be Eva's siblings, but, you know, that's it. It doesn't really concern you. But, you know, she still didn't see it like that. You know, whatever. They leave. And that's that with that situation. The promise be made chick needs to be committed somewhere because she's straight crazy. Next scene is we get Mama D talking to Scrappy. They meet up because she wants him to collab with Betty Idol and to also date Betty Idol. She thinks Betty Idol is beautiful and she wants him to move on from Bambi. So she, you know, is trying to get him to, for one, apologize for the comments that he made about transgender women, and just trying to get him to get back in there with Betty Idol. I have an issue with the way that Mama D talks to Scrappy, because that's how I talk to my 7-year-old son. When he becomes a grown man with his own children, I will no longer talk to him like that. I won't say, hey, mommy's man, how you doing? What you been doing, mommy's man? Like, he's grown. You're still talking to him like he's an infant. Like, I understand he'll always be your baby. Like, my son will always be my baby. He's the last child I'm ever going to have. He's my only son. You know, like, he's my second child. I have a daughter and a son. He will always be my baby. But as a grown man with his own family, I'm not going to be talking to him like he's a child. Sorry. I just find that so crazy. But, you know, she asked him to apologize, and he's like, I won't apologize, but I'll have a conversation with her. And he expresses how he feels. You know, I just feel like they, you know, like some transgender women make it bad for other transgender women when they go around trying to trick people. And, you know, everybody's entitled to their own feelings. You can't expect someone to feel a certain kind of way. If that's his feelings about it, let that be that. He doesn't feel like, he feels like the ones that don't want to disclose and want to trick men make it bad for all transgender women. But, you know, he agrees to meet with Betty Idol and to try to collab with her. So we get to a scene with Jocelyn at her, I guess her company. She looks like she's in like an office. She has a banner behind her and she's doing some paperwork. Dawn comes in and she's talking to Dawn and she's saying, I sent basically Mimi on a wild goose chase. I told her that Stevie had these extra kids in the street that he really doesn't have, but I told her that so that she could put him on child support because I want to hurt him. I want to hit him where it hurts. His pocket, I know, is where it's going to hurt him. So, I cried and I basically played Mimi. I played my friendship with Mimi to get what I wanted, to get back at Stevie. There's hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So she played her friendship with Mimi to get back at Stevie and told her all of this. And it was really kind of fake and phony when she was like Molly the maid, and like that's like if you gonna be the girl's friend after all that mess that went down and all that crying at the reunion and saying how you respect her and you think she's beautiful and this, that, and the third, like, and then to be throwing massive amounts of shade at her anytime you have a chance, that's so phony to me. Like, I like Jocelyn, but she does a lot of funny stuff and I don't too much jig with that. She says that she has Dawn booking her performances, and so Dawn is loving the fact that Stevie is no longer Jocelyn's manager, because now, hey, they're back friends and she's on the payroll. Hey, Stevie's out the way. Now me and you back friends, and now I'm getting this check. So she tells her, we got an invitation to Rick Ross's birthday party. She's excited. She's like, oh, Stevie gonna be mad. But they go, and she's saying, by the end of this, Stevie gonna need to work for me because he gonna be so broke. He gonna need a job for me to pay his bills and his child support. Whatever with them two. Whatever with that friendship, that fake and phony stuff, whatever. So then we move on to Scrappy meeting up with Betty Idol. He has a performance at the club. It looks so dead. Like, it looked like there were like 15 people there and they were so bored looking. And Scrappy was back in the day when Scrappy first came out when I was young, and I loved, the crunk music, and he was the Prince of Crunk. And he had his own rapping style because, he was one of the original people that came out with that crunk rap in him. Lil Jon, who else was there? I don't know. My mind has just gone completely blank. But, he had his own style of rapper. In this particular song, he sounded like the Migos, like a lot of other people. Like, I know the Migos style, their sound sells, but that doesn't mean that everybody has to rap like them now because that's what sells. But that's exactly what he sounded like. But yeah, he does his new song in this little boring looking crowd, and she's over there with D Smith. And to me, her and D Smith are like bullies. It's like Team Mean Girl times 45, because it's like you can never go anywhere alone and vent to some, or like check somebody on something that you feel like they've done. It always has to be the two of them together. Like, he invited Betty Idol. She then invites D Smith so that they can check him together. Why? You're an adult. You don't need two of you to check a person. Like, they do that all the time, and I just find that to be so mean girlish. Like, you don't want anybody to say anything or have an opinion about your lifestyle, what you got going on, but you can be bullies and mean girls to them when they don't see things your way. That's not how life works. In life, there are going to be people who don't necessarily agree with whatever you agree with. You can't then bully them to think how you think and feel how you feel. It doesn't work that way. If you don't feel how you feel, so what? Keep it pushing. A lot of rappers don't respect natural born women. We bitches and hoes and sluts and you know, she ain't good enough for nothing but for me to, you know, run up in. So you can't expect too much. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't see things your way, you can't then go and decide I'm going to bully you, or I'm going to have half the world attack you and say that because you don't see things this way that you're homophobic, or, you know, like, just move on. He don't see it your way, keep it pushing. Oh well. But, you know, they come to some kind of agreement to let bygones be bygones and keep it pushing. She says she doesn't agree with his opinion on it, but she gonna, you know, she gonna let it go for right now. Let's see what is next. I'm trying not to make this video too long. And then the last thing was Rashida and Mimi meeting to talk about how Mimi need to stop letting Stevie and Jocelyn suck her into their bullshit. They're a couple, married or not, whatever the hell they got going on, they together. They are toxic and they are dysfunctional as hell. That don't mean that you have to be sucked into it. Let them be dysfunctional over there. It doesn't matter if they come to you and try to involve you, and you can be like, you know what, that's y'all. Y'all talked about me, y'all played me, you hurt me, you did all this. So now y'all live with it and y'all figure it out on y'all own. I don't need to be involved. But she continues to let, you know, her heart and her emotions and the fact that she sees good in both of them suck her in. And, you know, Rashida's telling her, you know, she needs to stop. She shows her a picture of Jocelyn at the Rick Ross party, and she's like, if Stevie sees this, he's going to be really upset. But that's between them. Like, what difference does it make to you? I think the last scene is Stevie at the radio station with the boy who looked like a minion. I don't know what his name. I can't remember what his name is for some reason. And his girlfriend is Amber, the one who is gonna sleep with Jock. He looks like a minion to me. But, you know, they asked Stevie if he was ever married to Jocelyn, and he says no, they were never married. So that's it in a nutshell. Crazy episode. It was decent for what it was worth. I'm ready for next week's episode. This is when they kind of gonna show about you know, Walker and Tammy breaking up, and Tommy and Jocelyn, you know, fooling around. Jocelyn's tongue is gonna fall off because she's just going around licking everybody's cootie cat. Like, goodness. But, you know, it was just, that was the episode. That was my review on it. Like I said, I'm gonna do Black Ink Crew. Might not be up tonight. This was my first show review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to make them a little bit more entertaining than this. I know this one probably wasn't as entertaining, but it was my first one, so I'm trying to, you know, get better with my YouTube channel. I hope I get some more subscribers. So if you're watching this, subscribe to my channel. Watch it grow. You won't be disappointed because I am a fun-loving person. I'm going to have some vlogs coming of one of my family members is going through a gastric bypass, and I'm going to be her caregiver. And we're going to vlog about that. We're going to vlog about the day of the surgery. We're going to vlog about the days after, where I take care of her and everything that she goes through, doctor's appointments, things of that nature. So it's going to be a very fun experience. So just, you know, jump on board, subscribe to the channel. It's going to be fun. You're going to see different things like my kids and stuff. So I hope everyone enjoyed this review. Like I said, I'm going to have another one up tomorrow, and I will see you people later.